Do you ever watch Revenge of the Sith and feel like something's just missing? Like, the fall of Anakin is supposed to be the emotional climax of the entire prequel trilogy, right? So why does it feel like we skipped a chapter? There's heartbreak, sure, betrayal, death, lava, all the fun stuff. But there's a very specific absence that hits way harder once you realize it. Where the heck was Ahsoka Tano? I mean, come on. We've spent 7 seasons watching this girl become Anakin's ride or die. They fought side by side, bled together, cracked jokes during planetary invasions, and basically survived the most brutal war the galaxy's ever seen. And then when he's spiraling into darkness, losing his grip on everything, and casually turning into a child-murdering space warlord, she's just gone. Not a cameo, not a mention, not even a "hey, remember that time I had a sister figure who shaped my entire emotional development." It's like if Frodo just forgot Sam existed in the last 30 minutes of Return of the King. Or if Iron Man snapped his fingers and no one remembered Spider-Man. That's the level of emotional vacuum we're talking about here. Anakin's fall is treated like a purely Jedi Council problem, when the real heartbreak, the real loss was the one person who actually understood him. And let's not pretend it didn't matter. Because Ahsoka walking away from the Jedi wasn't just a plot twist, it was the moment Anakin lost faith in everything. It was the crack in the dam before the flood. And yet Revenge of the Sith plays it like Palpatine whispered Darkseid 3 times, and Anakin folded like a lawn chair. No hesitation, no inner turmoil, just bam, welcome to Mustafar. Population pain. That's what makes this whole thing so frustrating and kind of fascinating. Because the story knows Ahsoka matters. They just forgot to include her in the one film where she would have meant the most. Not to us, but to him. This wasn't just a missed cameo. This was a missed opportunity to make Anakin's fall actually hurt. And that silence speaks louder than all the screams on Mustafar combined. In this video, we're breaking down why Ahsoka absolutely should have been in Revenge of the Sith, how her absence reshaped the emotional weight of the story, and why the biggest tragedy of Anakin's fall might be the person who wasn't there to stop it, or to say goodbye. Let's be honest. The second you finish watching the Clone Wars, and then jump straight into Revenge of the Sith, something feels off. You just spent 7 seasons watching Anakin and Ahsoka fight together, bleed together, laugh, argue, and literally survive war together. And then suddenly, poof, she's gone. Not mentioned, not referenced. Not even a Jedi Council, side-eye in her direction. And for anyone who saw her as part of Anakin's emotional DNA, that's a massive void. It's weird, right? You've got a movie that's laser-focused on Anakin's descent into darkness, and yet it leaves out the one person who actually might have pulled him back. Like, imagine doing a movie about Batman losing his mind, and just casually forgetting to include Alfred. It's not just an oversight, it's a narrative blind spot. Because Ahsoka wasn't a sidekick. She was the person who grounded Anakin when no one else could. And the timing makes it even more confusing. Season 7 of the Clone Wars actually overlaps with Revenge of the Sith. She's alive, she's active, she's literally fighting her own war, while Anakin is spiraling into madness on Coruscant. They were so close on the same battlefield, in the same tragedy, but in 2 totally separate lanes. And all that tension, all that heartbreak, is just off-screen. So yeah, naturally you start to wonder. What if she had been there? What if the Jedi hadn't cast her out? What if Anakin had someone in his corner who wasn't lying to him, or manipulating him, or sending him to spy on people he respected? What if Ahsoka had been in the temple when things started to collapse? It's not just a fun what if. It's a question the story never truly answered. And when the stakes are this high and the fall is this steep, you have to ask, why leave out the one person who could have changed everything? Okay, let's just say it. Leaving Ahsoka out of Revenge of the Sith was more than a plot gap. It was a gut punch, not just to fans, but to the story itself. Because for a film that's supposed to show Anakin's fall, it completely skips over the person who symbolized his humanity. And instead, it gives us politics, prophecies, and power plays. But almost no actual personal loss. Think about it. Anakin loses Padme. Sure. But most of that comes late in the story, after he's already knee-deep in betrayal and love-induced rage. Obi-Wan's disapproval hurts, but their relationship was always built on tension and conflicting philosophies. Ahsoka, though, she was different. She was the one who trusted him implicitly. The one he let his guard down with. The one he chose to care about when everyone else felt like duty. There's a kind of pain that comes from absence. Not the loud, dramatic kind, but the quiet kind. The kind that makes you realize how empty something feels without even knowing why. And watching Revenge of the Sith after seeing Ahsoka's arc is exactly that kind of pain. Because she's not just missing from the screen, she's missing from Anakin's heart. And we feel that hole, even if the movie never acknowledges it. Ahsoka was family to him. She was the sister he never had, the apprentice he never wanted but couldn't live without. The only person who saw through the Jedi rhetoric and into who Anakin really was. And the tragedy is, she would have followed him. Not blindly, but with loyalty. She would have fought for him to come back before it was too late. And when he turned, it would have broken her in a way the film never shows. Instead, we get glimpses of her grief through other media. Her reaction to Order 66 in the Clone Wars finale. Her face when she sees the clone troopers she buried, painted in her colors. Her silence in Rebels when she confronts Vader and whispers, "I won't leave you. Not this time." That pain is real. But in Revenge of the Sith, we get none of it. And what makes it sadder is that she didn't even get a chance to try. She wasn't there to plead with him, to challenge him, to see the fear in his eyes as he fell deeper into Palpatine's trap. We never saw her ask, "Why are you doing this?" We never saw her grieve for the man she once called Sky Guy. And without that, the emotional arc of the prequels feels incomplete. It's the kind of sorrow that lingers. Not because it was loud or dramatic, but because it never got a voice. And sometimes, the most heartbreaking thing isn't what you lose. It's what you never even got to say goodbye to. Now picture this. An extra scene just one set in a quiet hallway or war room. Ahsoka returns to talk to Anakin. Not as a Jedi, but as his friend. She senses his unease. He tries to hide it, like always, but she knows him too well. She warns him, pleads with him to trust her over the council, and he almost does. You can feel the moment hanging there, on the edge of redemption. But here's the thing. Even if she wasn't in Revenge of the Sith, Ahsoka's presence still echoes through it. Every time Anakin hesitates, every time he questions the council, every moment where he feels alone, you can feel her shadow there. The character is so strong, so defined, that even her absence has weight. And that means something. And Star Wars knows it. That's why the Clone Wars came back to finish her arc. Why Tales of the Jedi keeps revisiting her past. Why Rebels, Ahsoka, and every expanded story continues to thread her presence through the saga. Because the writers realized, maybe too late, that you can't tell Anakin's story without Ahsoka's echo haunting it. She may have missed the movie, but she didn't miss the moment. Fans carried her into that film anyway, through edits, rewatches, breakdowns, and speculation. She's in our heads when Anakin turns. We ask what she would have done. We imagine the words she would have said, and that kind of legacy is rare, especially in a galaxy this crowded. There's still time to honor that connection. Flashbacks, voiceovers, even reimagined scenes. Star Wars has a habit of revisiting the past, and this one deserves a second look. Ahsoka's relationship with Anakin wasn't just part of the animated side of the franchise. It was the emotional core, and it can still deepen everything we thought we knew. So yeah, the door's still open. And if Star Wars ever wants to give fans closure, to show the final beat of that friendship before everything burned, it doesn't need a new film. It just needs one quiet, painful, powerful scene between two people who never stopped believing in each other. In the end, Ahsoka's absence from Revenge of the Sith isn't just a footnote. It's a missing heartbeat. A skipped page in a book we've all read 100 times. Because Anakin's fall was supposed to be emotional, devastating, personal. And without Ahsoka, it always feels just a little too distant. We saw his anger, his fear, his betrayal. But not his heartbreak. Not the moment where he realizes the people he loves are slipping away. Padme's death was the final blow, yes? But Ahsoka walking out, that was the cut that never closed. The one the movie never showed. And maybe never understood. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy my videos, please consider looking at my pinned comment and checking out the links for my Amazon storefront. It contains my favorite Legos, my gear in which I make videos, and comics that I read on a daily basis. I update it constantly, so please, take a moment and click on the link. On top of that, check out my second channel, Critical Analysis Hub Plus, and my third channel, Critical Analysis Hub XP. Just one click would go on a long way in supporting my channels and future in YouTube.